So today we have a really fun topic, childbirth. It's one of the things that if you're a first-time mom or 10th-time mom, it's probably something you spend a lot of time thinking about or purposely not thinking about if you're anything like me. I have delivered 5 babies. I've actually delivered 6 babies, but 5 babies via natural childbirth, and I've had one C-section, and they were all unmedicated. And one thing that I can say is that you can do it. And if you actually stick around to the end of this video, I have one secret. The one secret that if you know it and you embrace it, you will be almost guaranteed to be able to have a natural childbirth. So let's get into it. Here are my few things that I want everyone to know about childbirth. So there's 6. Let me check my list. Okay, so there's 6 things I've written down that everybody should know about natural childbirth, which is this definition of it is just childbirth without medication. And I really actually hate the term natural childbirth because there's no such thing as an unnatural childbirth. There's no such thing as a lesser childbirth, which I think is really what that term makes people feel like. I've had a C-section and I am no less her mother than I am any of my other kids that I pushed out. Yeah, and whether or not you take drugs, you don't get a trophy. You just get a baby. And there's really, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be. And that's coming from someone who has had very, very, very crazy long labors and short labors. My first was 48 hours, ending in a C-section, a Pitocin induction that did not work. And my second was my water broke and there he was. So I've done both ways. I believe the last one was called precipitous, and there's no easier way. The 48 hours on Pitocin being induced was absolutely horrible. The very quick 2.5-hour labor that was natural after my water broke was horrible, but you get through it. So my number one thing to tell you is the pain is crazy. It is unlike anything you've ever felt. And I know, like, there's always, oh, I had a kidney stone, it was worse than childbirth, whatever. It's a lot of pain. Whether or not it's the worst pain in the world, it's an insane amount of pain. But it's only an insane amount of pain for a minute at a time. And you can do absolutely anything for a minute. So if it's horrible, you gotta grip, breathe, get through it. It's over and you get a little bit of a break. Towards the end, towards transition, which is generally 8-9 centimeters, when you're getting ready to push, you get less of a break, but at that point you're like almost there. You're not going to have a lot of contractions like that. You're going to spend most of your time in the first and second phases of labor, and you're going to get those breaks. And those breaks are honestly life-saving. You take them to take a nap if you can at the beginning. You take those breaks to take deep breaths, to center yourself, to get yourself ready for the next contraction. And then you just breathe. You get through the contractions. They're 1 minute, 90 seconds are the long ones. You can do this. You can do pain for 90 seconds, no matter how bad it is. It's 90 seconds at the outside. So breathe through it, get through it. It's going to come, they're going to get a break. Number 2, you're going to start off shy at the beginning of your labor. That's going to go away. And that's not really a natural labor thing, but it's going to go away more because you're going to be doing more to alleviate your pain. So you may be one of those moms that goes in with the labor gown and you're going to be covered. You got your sports bra on. You're probably going to end up naked. You're probably not going to care. I have been naked at this point in front of so many people in the worst possible positions. And yeah, I've never really cared. I mean, if they had to bring 40, 50 people into that room to get that baby out, have at her. Everyone stare at my vagina. That's what it eventually becomes. You're gonna get hot. You're going to get sweaty. You're going to be moving around. And if you're bouncing on the ball, for me, squats are really, really effective. It's the one time in my life I like to do them. So if you're doing squats, you're not going to want to be wearing a gown. You're not going to be wanting to wear pants. You're going to just be maybe in a tank top and some underwear. You're probably not even going to be wearing the underwear because they're checking you. And you're not going to care. You are in pain. You are doing something. You are deep in concentration. You are going to get rid of that shyness really quick. And honestly, you won't care. It's not one of those things where you're going to be like, well, I guess I have to deal with it. You just will not care. It's freeing. at least hopefully you get there. I got there every time, but hopefully you get there too. Number 3 is there is a feeling of the baby moving down once you've gone through a transition and you begin to push. And this is one of the most intense feelings you're going to feel in labor. You are going to feel your baby move into your areas. I don't want to make this a not safe for work video, but like you're going to feel that baby's head move down and it's going to pull your whole body with it. It's one of the most intense, amazing feelings in labor. And like, it's really just cool that you feel that baby start to make that journey towards outside, towards like being born. You're gonna feel it. It's crazy. It's something really like to look forward to. It's one of the things that you really, I've heard you don't feel with an epidural. You're not going to feel it if you're high on morphine. You're going to feel it if you're natural though. And it's not necessarily pleasant. It's like you're going to be like, oh, you're going to feel it. And then, good transition here. You're going to make some funny noises. My go-to is apparently dying cow, as my husband has so lovingly explained to me. And, again, it's like being naked. I didn't care while I was making those noises. Those noises, those guttural from your throat noises are giving you the ability to concentrate. Making those noises, it takes your mind off things. And also, they're the noises your body makes when you're allowing it to do its own thing. And a lot of delivering naturally is very hippie, like it's crunchy granola stuff. You've got to allow your body to do what it has to do. You're going to sit back and sometimes you're going to breathe to get through things. Sometimes you're going to actively participate. But I mean, a lot of it is just giving your body permission to take over and do what it needs to do. And these noises that are going to come out of you are along that. So, funny story, with my last delivery with Jacob, I got there, like I said, very quickly, and there was 2 other women laboring on the floor, and we all delivered within like 15 minutes of each other. My doctor actually didn't even make it to my birth. Jacob was delivered by a nurse and a respiratory therapist, because all the other nurses were busy with these 2 other women who were like getting ready to push or pushing already. And it was intense. And the noises that I was making, they then proceeded to make after I had my baby, because I had my baby first, and then the other woman went about 10 minutes after, and then the third woman went about 40 minutes after that. Honestly, they were making the exact same noises I made. So, I mean, it may be a little bit embarrassing that you sound like a dying cow, but it works, and that's the noises your body has to make to get your baby earthside. The next point I made is number 5, pushing. Pushing is intense. Like, if you're going natural, you're not going to question whether you need to push. I know a lot of women are like, what if I don't need it? No, I need to push. You're going to know, because your body's going to push. And it's not like a little, no. When you are pushing, especially once you get into pushing, it is an intense feeling. You are pushing yourself inside out, and like there's no other way to describe it. For me, I am not actively pushing when I'm pushing my children out. I am somewhere else in my mind, holding on, screaming internally and externally, and just my body is pushing, and it honestly feels like you are going to rip open, like you're going to turn yourself inside out. You're not going to turn yourself inside out. You're going to get through this. It's intense. But the thing with pushing is so many people are so scared of it, but it feels good. Not like a back rub, but it is just, you spend the first 10 centimeters of labor trying to get to this point, and you're just laying there, and now you have this thing that you can work towards, and you can help to push, and you can go along with it, and it feels good when you're pushing. They're going to tell you to stop pushing. Good luck with that. That doesn't feel good. Pushing when your body wants to push, that feels really, really good. And then the final point that I have here is that the pain of labor, it's gone the second your baby is out. And when I say the second, I mean the feeling of pushing your baby out. You're going to be pushing, concentrating hard. It's so painful. The contractions are coming. You're going to push with each contraction, and they're going to be really, really painful. And then all of a sudden you're going to feel the baby slip out into the world, and nothing. No more contractions, no more pain. They put a baby on your chest, and it's just, I'm getting chills. Like, it's this euphoria, and you're going to hold this creature, and it's bliss, and it's replaced with bliss. The pain is gone the second the baby is out, which may be why pushing feels so good for me, because I know I'm getting towards getting that baby out and the pain being gone, but it's just gone. And it's going to come back a little bit a few minutes later when you have to deliver the placenta, but nothing like what you just went through. And then you're going to be achy for a long time. For me, everything hurt. My throat hurt from my dying cow noises. My areas hurt from pushing a baby out. My backside hurt from pushing a baby out. My shoulders hurt from bearing down. Everything's going to hurt for a few days, but it's nothing like anything like those last few minutes of labor. That pain disappears completely. So now that you've stayed with me for this whole video, I want to tell you the one secret, and I tell this to all of my pregnant friends and all of my family and everyone who asks. The one secret to guaranteeing that you are going to be able to have a natural birth is whether you think you can do it or you think you can't do it, you are going to do it. And if you keep that in mind, it gets hard. And I mean, I don't think anybody gets through labor thinking, yay, this is so much fun. I mean, maybe if you have an epidural, but not natural labor. And if you keep that in mind when it gets hard, then try and hold on to that. You're going to get there. I mean, like I said, the 90 seconds, it's bad for 90 seconds, then you get a break. So during those 90 seconds, you may call for an epidural. I did. I actually apparently have this thing where I ask for an epidural right before I need to start pushing in every single one of my labors. And my husband actually knows that now. And so with Jacob, when I was at that point, I was in transition. It was a very quick labor, so it was not a long transition. I got through one contraction and I'm holding on to the hospital bed as tight as I can. I'm curled up in a ball, which is actually the worst thing you could do. You want to be loose, don't force against it, but it's neither here nor there. I was just done. I couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, I need an epidural. And Donald was like, she is going to push. The baby's coming right now. And the nurse is like, oh, it's okay. I'm just going to check you and we'll see if we can get you your epidural. And my husband's like, no, you need to get the doctor here right now. And I'm like, no, just let her check me. I need this epidural because I've got this like 90-second break. So I'm okay now, but I know more contractions are coming. And like I said, I'm curled up on my side, holding on to the hospital bed, the railing of the hospital bed. And she's like, okay, I just need you to roll over and I'm going to check you. I knew the second I rolled over, I was not getting my epidural. And my husband knew, he knew better than me. And so I rolled over and basically had a baby right there. So whether you think you can get through the labor or not, your body is going to get you through. So hold on. And it's not one of those things where you are going to get to a certain point and you're just not going to be able to do it anymore. You're going to be able to do it. The thing that happens might be that you just go somewhere else in your mind, which is actually what happens to me. I go to my happy place. And it'll get you through. Your body is going to push that baby out whether you want it to or not. And then that baby is going to interrupt you while you're filming videos a couple years later. Want to say hi?
Yeah. Hi.
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 So I hope these tips are helpful for you. Please, if you've delivered a baby before, leave your tips and your helpful hints in the comments. Anything that made things easier for you. Did you try hypnobirthing? Did you have a certain breathing technique that worked for you? Leave it in the comments and share it with the first-time moms or the first time wanting to go natural moms. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. That little red button, I'd really appreciate it. I like to share content on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'd love for you to be a part of that. And if you have any questions about natural labor, again, leave them in the comments. Message me. I'd love to hear them. What are you doing? Yep, this is what it's all for. Weird kids. Anyway, if you can, hit subscribe. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. It's good seeing you and having a chat with you. And you guys have a good one.
I love you.
Hey, Marky.